Right, here we are. Dan's turned up with the wood carving. We've just taken the chair apart. And there's only one way to cut this. Isn't there, Dan? What we're using today in the shop.
Chainsaw, mate.
Chainsaw, mate. Alright.
Right, what's your eyeballs?
Here we go. Right, come round here, Neil.
And your fingers. Agreed on this bit here.
Yeah.
We're taking out a bigger section anyway,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Go on, Dan, do it.
Definitely no electric.
Definitely. No, no electric.
Enough with aches from going all night. The wait is over and the wait is over. Off out to speed, tearing up the new wave. Knew they could take it, smash it, toss it in their own way. All they ever heard was nothing to things our way. The wait is over and the wait is over. So load the fan high, head out over midnight. Go find those kids we knew when this was still a highlight. Turn some heads, strike the cause and cover streetlight. The wait is over and the wait is over. Hey you know we're getting older. Yeah. Sorry I told ya, but we've gotta start finding ways to chase this down before it fades away. And hey you know we won't surrender. Yeah, 'cause there's no getting younger. We've gotta start finding ways to chase this down before it fades away. Did you ever think that this could be a sick bet? No. Lesson numbers with a simple change of our threats. No going backwards, we'll start over with a new set. The wait is over and the wait is over. So love the fan high, head out over midnight. I think those kids we found have never lost their sky right. Turn some heads, strike the cars and cover streetlight. The wait is over and the wait is over. And hey you know we're getting older. Yeah, I'm sorry I told ya, but we've gotta start finding ways to chase this down before it fades away. And hey you know we won't surrender. Yeah, 'cause there's no getting younger. We've gotta start finding ways to chase this down before it fades away. Chase this down!
Dan, we're here at Horsepower Hairdressing. Pretty say we have wrecked the shop with a chainsaw today, but that's what we're about. We love a bit of drama. Dan from arborbarba.com. Really, you do wood carvings, Dan, but you're a tree surgeon as well?
Yeah, that's kind of where I got my inspiration from, I suppose. Especially with this piece, it was from a storm damaged tree off of the Slough Cut on the local Grand Union Canal. Been a tree surgeon for 20 years, always made mushrooms and chairs and various stuff out of leftover wood off a site, and just progressed from there really.
So when was your first time you started wood carving out of trees?
Probably one of the first companies I worked for. I think they had the opportunity to earn a little bit of money from someone who could recycle the wood.
Right.
So it was sort of toadstools and stuff like that for kids to sit on in schools, and Stockley golf course I done a big sort of bench type sofa style chainsaw carving from to use. And really stem from there. It's that type of thing when you tell someone that you can do something but you haven't proved it.
Right.
And you kind of just add to it. The more tools I got, the better I got, and just loved it, to be honest.
Right, so now you're trying to sort of push this out a bit more, try and get this a bit widespread, hence why we've got this lovely piece of work in here. What kind of stuff can people have done? You know, say I wanted a dragon, can I have a dragon done? Can I, you know, how far can we go with it? Obviously...
That's it. You're creative enough with your art and stuff in the shop, and it sort of appealed to me when we first started chatting that I like I'd like someone to challenge me. I like just to do something a little bit out of the
So
norm.
you're willing to push the boundaries, you're willing to
Definitely
push a bit, yeah. So really, I mean, Harry the horse has been made into a cuddly toy. That's his first 3D appearance, but really he's a 2D character, and you've taken him and carved him into wood. So tell us, how did you do it? You started off with
you'll see
tree, obviously.
On the video there'll be like a link to this, won't it? Like, so the link, you'll be able to see the tree that I originally got it from, and I suppose first of all got the inspiration of just a very simple sort of plain design for the ring. So once that was just cut from the main stem, just had a sort of basic log so big, you can imagine the bark around it and it just sort of being solid, to just start to put some ideas in with a chainsaw. So I started to put the letters in.
So this was all done originally with a chainsaw?
Originally, yeah, to get the sort of blank canvas done. So started to separate the letters, sort of obviously counting the amount of letters that you wanted in there,
right.
Just sort of separating them up with your little stars either side. Start to hollow out the inside of the log, leaving enough space to make Harry, and just gradually whittle down to that point. So it's just, obviously once you've removed it you can't replace it, so it's just right. Sort of gradually,
so slowly
being careful
as she goes.
That's it, yeah,
basically.
yeah. And you make plenty of mistakes along the way. Originally his head would have been a lot bigger. You can see in some of the pictures he's not exactly the same, but yeah, you kind of.
But at what point do you stop with the details? I mean, I'd love to. I mean, people have got to come and see this really to really get the, you know, to really see it. But you've got the details around the hoofs, etc.
Yeah, it's your picture originally is pretty standard, you know. Like it's a nice, clean sort of picture that's. I don't know, you'd assume that you'd be able to do it quite easy, but your picture's so exact, I would have had to sort of do measurements, and I just winged it from the start, which I soon realised that if I'm going to do like a tree spirit or an eagle or something like that, it can be different versions of it. You can adjust the sort of the emotion on something, but Harry's Harry. I had to soon realise I had to sort of follow it exact. But the little extra details, I don't know, I tried to put a little bit of muscle definition here on his stomach, sort of mimic that off of a real horse to try and implement that 3D sort of bit to it. Even on the face there, on the picture it's sort of straight, but I'll put like the sort of muscles on the top of the face just to sort of create it a little bit. So the little hoof details and that, I just try to get it thereabouts close with working a hardwood with the picture that I had, and it was just, again, just slowly whittle it down, get a little bit close at that point.
So we're going to try and get a few more shots, sort of really sort of close in on stuff like this. Can people have any type of wood carved? Anything you can?
Yeah, on the website I'll start to break down more and more of the different type of looks that a different wood will give you. This being hardwood takes a lot more time, so if you've got the use for something very long lasting and you want to go with a hardwood, but you'll probably pay for that. But softer woods are equally as beautiful. So that's just
so
time
if we
schedule.
put this in a house with central heating and stuff like that, what care would we have to take over this?
Obviously you use your own discretion. It's at your own discretion. Like for yourself personally, you'll look at it at some stage and it'll start to dull a little bit. If someone's going over hoovering off the air every day and stuff like that, then I'll be in here for a haircut every now and then anyway, so it'll be hard not for me to have a proper look. It'll be a matter of me sanding it down, putting another coat on it and just sort of redoing the finish to it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's down to someone's discretion. Sometimes you can just leave this, you're more than welcome to just leave it in it to grow its own sort of natural patina, you know. So basically just let it age naturally. We'll have that sort of, I don't know, vintage sort of look about it in time when everything starts to wear off of it. So it depends really. It's always wise just to contact me and see what options you have, because
where you want to put it, what you want to do with it.
Yeah, it costs you nothing to break it down. It doesn't have to be like a glossy sort of resin finish to it like that. It's only because I wanted it hard wearing for the shop. It can be sort of more natural sort of wood sort of texture where it'll just be like a wax or an oil.
So if people come to you and say, I want this particular wood, is there any wood you can't have?
Each tree is going to be at a different stage of its breakdown. So you get something called, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
Is it to do with a certain age of how the tree is to whether you can have what you want?
Spalting is called. So a lot of wood will start to spalt, and you can see ever so slightly in here, the way this has changed colour from the rest of it, it's much darker. What the heartwood would be in the centre.
Right.
But this is much darker, and that's just where the spalting is a fungus which is slowly decaying the wood.
Right.
But it's kind of sought after a little bit by some people. They want that unique sort of twist to it.
I love all the different shades and the knots that you can see and stuff like that. I love wood.
That's it. It's just nature taking its course, and some people admire it. Just to sort of highlight them little bits. So it depends on what stage you catch it at. When it starts to break down, you can use any woods, but they're not always going to be exactly the same. If you carve something green, meaning wet, then it's obviously going to, like this was green, this was wet, hence all of the natural sort of cracks and splitting that I had to fill before. Unless I use something that had been sort of kiln dried, like the same wood. If it was kiln dried and just dried over a year or two, it would stay in position, it wouldn't have too much movement. So there's always a chance of this possibly warping a little bit over the next few months, being indoors, but kind of gone through that process a little bit already. Right. So a bit of luck, it just behaves itself. Like I said to you originally on the first sort of tester, when it was, I don't know, sort of the prototype, I put another pic in the video of when it was in the shop, when we first looked at it and had all the bark over it and stuff, and I pointed out that it was beginning to warp and it had this big split through the chest. We were just trying to sort of open back up. Yeah. So if it's green, if it's wet, then it's going to go through that phase. If it's dry, then it will behave itself and stay as it is. Alright,
so if people want to find you, people want to get something done, they've got an idea, they want to share it with you, obviously they can come and see us at Horsepower Hairdressing and we'll put you in touch with you. But if they're watching this and they want to go direct to you, where do they find you?
Website, arborbarba.com.
I'll put in the description.
So need spelling out or something, we just put a link to it.
Yeah, we'll spell that out, brilliant.
Yeah. Arborbarba.com, and just come to me with any idea. Get as creative as possible. So
you'll be as open as you can.
Don't be embarrassed, just anything you want. I've done stuff from unicorns and dragons to sort of fire and water sort of textures, and little whimsical sort of fairy houses that are a little bit trippy with all-seeing eyes and fairies and mushrooms a lot.
I hate to mention the C word, Christmas, but it's coming. It is upon us, isn't it? We're galloping towards it. Link to the horse there, of course. We're coming towards Christmas. Someone comes to you now, they want a wood carving done. Or, I know it's a how long is a piece of string kind of question, but if they want something done now, is now the time to come to you? Because how long does it take? I mean, how long did that take?
That is different. You know, there's different varieties you can look at. Basic sort of chainsaw carving, you can look up almost anywhere. There's stuff on my website to get a sort of rough idea of what a chainsaw carving is. It would literally be what it says on the tin, just using a chainsaw, making something from that. Big sort of 6 foot pieces, larger pieces, you could do within sort of 2 to 3 days, sometimes a week, depending on how detailed it is. Something like this that I look to put indoors, I spend a lot more time sanding it, try to add a little bit more detail. This particular piece took around sort of 150 hours.
So it's a really
in-depth off the top of my head I can't think exactly how long in days work.
So if you want something this in depth, come and see you now if you want one for Christmas.
Yeah.
Anything else? Well, are you now? You're doing a demonstration somewhere?
I am.
If anyone wants to go and see that.
Duck Pond Market, I'll be doing a demonstration. With a bit of luck, I'll be doing that regularly, the first of every month.
And that's in Ruislip?
In Ruislip, yeah, Ruislip High Street.
Yeah, okay.
Parking for free on a Sunday at St Martin's Approach.
Okay. And you'll have stuff for sale there? People want to...
I'll do a demonstration. I'll have little bits and bobs for sale. The nicer stuff that I have will be sort of exhibitioned in a way, so you can have a feel of what you want made, and I don't know, it'll be sort of made to order, you know.
Cool. Okay.
So whatever you want done, write it down, and we'll just.
So if they don't want to go through the website, they don't want to contact you, phone number through me, go and see it at Duck Pond Market, which is, when is it then? We don't know.
The first Sunday of every month, or the third Sunday of every month.
Right. Okay. So you've got 2 opportunities to come down. Just say hello. Tell them the horse sent you.
That's it.
Yeah. And Dan looked after. All right. Thanks very much, Dan. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the carving. Cheers, mate.